Hello and thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video here on Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures. Roll the video.
Okay then guys, here we go. We are just about to depart from Dudley, Primary Street to Warrants Hall. So we're travelling on the brand new 215 route which started at the start of this year. Now Dudley is currently using a temporary interchange while work is taking place on the main Dudley interchange, which was commonly known as Dudley Bus Station, where I have been using for the last couple of years while work is taking place to construct a new station building and also to be hosting a DIA system. Now a DIA is a drive-in and reverse out. So the Dudley interchange work is taking place to construct the bus terminal, and hopefully, eventually, maybe, I'm not sure if this is true, it might attract new bus routes to come into Dudley. Obviously, already Dudley has attracted the 215 and 214s, the newer routes, and of course the 14th Bob. So here we are at St Edmund's Church. So here we are, just by Bottom Church, St Edmunds. Obviously it's called Bottom Church because obviously it's the bottom of Dudley Town, whilst the other church, which is known as St Thomas's, is called Top Church. So those are Dudley's famous landmarks, and obviously you've got Dudley Zoological Gardens as well. And so anyway, the bus we got is a right street light, which is a shorter version to the other street lights that Diamonds have got on the fleet. And this was one of the street lights. It was a regular on the 226 service from Dudley to Merry Hill via Rossall Hospital, Benisnet, Kingsford and Wordsley, and was branded for the route. The branding came into force in 2019, but obviously the 226 branding started originally in 2018 when they used the branded Optare Solo SRs, and there was 3 Optare Solo SRs that were the 226 that was branded. So you had the X Hallmark one, which is now at Redditch, and then you had the 2 other Solos, which are the Express Maltese Solo SR, and that was 30050 and 30051. 30051 has been withdrawn from the fleet, and that was then painted into the new diamond livery, whilst 30050, which is still surviving today, is still painted in the original diamond livery. And but those buses were transferred over to Redditch Garage in 2019, as Redditch won a lot of a handful of routes off IGO, because at the same time IGO buses went into administration. So anyway, there's the old house, and here's Station Hotel, and work is taking place on the metro system that's going to be happening here in Dudley, with the extension to Wednesbury. Well, it's been extended from Wednesbury to here in Dudley, so that's good news. They'll be using the trams more often soon. So here we are, now waiting at traffic lights at the roundabout. So the 226 so this was one of the first brandings when it was branded to include into Merry Hill, but obviously in 2020 went into administration, and Merry Hill was sold from Into to another company, and then the 226 then received a new branding in 2022. And originally in September of that year there was going to include the 226 to be rerouted via Wall Heath, and then a 226A to cover the evening and Sunday trip. this didn't happen until January 2023, and the 226 and 226A came into force. But obviously, due to the prices, the 226 was going to face a sudden withdrawal. But obviously, that soon got reprieved, soon got saved, with the 226 reverting back to its original route and timetable, but still running half hourly and hourlies on the weekends, and the EA was dropped completely. But now the 226 bypasses Ashwood Park, whilst the 226A covers the evening and Sunday trip. So 226 got saved after a lot of people signing their petition with a lot of signatures to save the 226, because obviously it's the only bus that connects Worsley and Merrihill. Without the bus route, people would have to change into Stillwell Bridge to connect onto a Merrihill bus, or they would have gone to Springfield to get the 15. So it is good that they've kept the 226 running, and the 226 still survives today, as that route has been running for many years, since taking over from the days of the Travel Merrihill 264 and 265. So anyway, back to the route. We're now down at Ferntree Island as the 215 now goes by this way. It no longer goes round the back of Cousins Furniture Store like what the 24 used to do. And of course, part of this route replaces the old 74A from Dudley to West Bromwich. The 215 74A only runs between West Bromwich and Horsley Heath. So if you now need to go to West Brom, Dudley, the only route you can get now is the 74, which is the Birmingham service by the Sutton Road. And before that, you used to have the 42 that used to go from Dudley to West Brom by Tividale, but that route got scrapped, well shortened to Tividale only, and it was combined with the West Midlands bus partnership. But obviously, NXWL stopped running the 42. I'm not sure if they're still running, but I think they withdrew that completely, leaving Darwin to do the 42 to Tividale and the 43 to go on to Bilston. Leaving NXWL on the 43 to Bilston. Because Darwin did the 43 alongside NX, but obviously Darwin withdrew the 43, so they just run the 42 from West Brom to Tiverton. Now, part of this also covers part of the 14A route, which was introduced in 2019 by National Express West Midlands, replacing the 208. Now, National Express West Midlands ran the 208 for a short stint in 2019, because obviously they did it as an emergency tender following the collapse of IGO buses. If you remember, IGO used to do the 208 from Merrihill to Dudley on Brickhouse Farm. So, time is now 10:18, so we're going to ride on this bus down to Warrenthal. So we're going to Warrenthal. Comfy bus. Now, National Express West Midlands have been doing the 14A since 2019 up until to the start of the year, and then they ceased operating the 14A and of course the 24 route, and of course the sister route, the 14. Now I'm going to eventually do Fox Yard on 214, but that's going to be another day, but I'm going to let you know that I'll be doing that soon. So what all we need to do is just get out and travel wherever you like. So, or maybe a catchphrase, what big part wheel wide, Sean Sambrook, he says get out there and keep on riding. Or maybe my catchphrase is get out and carry on riding. have fun. So just waiting to turn left, right onto Bums Lane, and just about to pass us is a former National Express West Midlands Mark 1 B7, which is now been converted into a driver training vehicle. And I remember those Mark 1 B7s back in the day on the 11 and 4M route. And those were the great good times, those Mark 1 B7s. So here we go, we're going upwards. Now 215 covers this section Monday to Saturday daytime, whilst Monday to Saturday evenings and Sunday daytimes this is covered by the 14A, because the 14A is now a Sunday version of the 14, so the 14A no longer runs Monday to Saturday daytimes compared to when National Express used to do the route. This is quite a... Now here we go. This is actually the first time I'm actually taking one of these I've seen a street light come across this part of the route, because multiple of these have come off the 226 to work the new tended routes, and this is one of the new tended routes that's been awarded to Diamond on behalf of the Transport for West Midlands, DFWM, as part of the structure of the new routes. We're covering parts of old 74A. If you remember, 74A used to come across this section of the route. So just come off Bums Lane. So there's only two routes that come along here now. Before, we used to have the 74A, the 14A, and the 14, but obviously there's only two that come on here now. And before the 14 came along, it was known as the 127 that used to be the Dudley to Ultra. But that got shortened in 2018 to one big family and was renumbered to the 13, which is part of the 13 family. So this is Tividale. So we've got a lovely view of Dudley Castle. Bottom Church is just over there. Lovely, magnificent view on this new service. There's the Dudley Motor Company down there. Vauxhall Garage. So we're on the Wolverton Road. Quite tight for this route, because I remembered when the 74A existed on this corridor, they used Mercedes-Benz Snella Stratas and also Optare Solos, and the 74A was originally, before Diamond had the route, it was run by Central buses. If you remember Central buses back in the day, but they were bought by Diamond in 2018. And then Diamond started to grow by other companies out, like they started to buy Clarabells of Sutton Coldfield and Johnson's XL bus of Henley and Arden near Stratford-upon-Avon. And of course Midland Classic of the non-Trent to be called Diamond Bus for the East Midlands. So there's Top Church over there, and there's Cousins. Now we're actually going to cover the route that was previously covered by the 24 route now. that section has been withdrawn, so there's no buses. Well, it came out on Peel Street, but obviously that section is now totally withdrawn. There's no bus service going up there at all now. And so now we're covering the bit that was covered by the 24, the Nash Express in Diamond, because Diamond did this before. If you remember, Diamond used to be on the 24 in the past. When it used to go to the Fox Yards, because I remembered when it used. Okay then, we're now going down the Buffrey Road. So we're now going down the hill. So this is going to take us down towards the Sledmere. So we're going to be turning left in a moment onto Sledmere Road. So we'll be turning left onto the Sledmere. And this was the part that was covered on the 24 route, the old National Express and Diamond. And also Hampson's did it and Ico. So here we go. Sledmore, well this is not Sledmere Road, Sledmore Road. So now on Sledmore Road. So this is going to go around the uplands. Now it's been a while since I last saw Diamond doing this route. The last time Diamond was on this route was when it was operating with the little buses when it ran to Merry Hill. Because when it had the little buses on, it was the Octaves or the Darts, or sometimes the Mellors did it. But now we've got street lights on for the first time now. I think street lights have done it before the mini ones, like the little wheel forwards, if you remember the little ones for the wheel forwards. Like what NX use on the from Wolverhampton to Birmingham. It was previously the old 241 Dudley to Halsey and the 140 from Dudley to Birmingham. And the 241 did continue on to Merry Hill for a bit, but obviously they shortened it due to reliability issues. So here we go, up the hill. As you know, same speed, just like going up on Side Hill over at Kidderminster on the 7, but very quite nice bus. Obviously these buses are a bit designed to climb some steeper hills. Sorry if I said these buses are designed to climb steeper hills, but obviously some buses can go a bit quicker, but obviously these hills are a little bit like in a built-up estate. Obviously with cars parked up, you'd probably expect little type of buses on this route, like Mellors or little minivans, but obviously this route works in the 14, so they'll probably use the buses that have been built for the 14 route. There's the Rowley Hills over there. to Warren's Hall Circular, which connects lots of different parts of the route, which have got a lot of windy roads. So that is Sledmere, also Warren's Hall, and also Springfield, and also Tividale. Now there's going to be changes happening on this service. The 215 service will extend to Blackheath, but not all of the route is going to be covered. This is also down to low patronage, but I will keep you up to date with the new route and timetable. Now the 215 covers the section part of the old 642 from Dudley to Uplands, and also the old 368 that went through Springfield. Then later it was absorbed into the 224. Then after the 224 it became the 24 from Fox Yards to Merry Hill. I know it was part of the original 215 that was under the Birmingham Corporation, I think. So it was up and then it became the Diamond 24, then IGO, then it went to Hanson's, and then after Hanson's it became Diamond again, and then Diamond gave up in 2019 with National Express West Midlands taking over. They did run it to Fox Yards until September, from when the 14 took the Fox Yards part, and later it was taken on by and then it was just shortened to Dudley only. Now, as well as the 24 route, and then NXWM just continued to hold the contract until 2024 into early 2025, and the 24 was shortened to Blackheath only, being taken on by Diamond. And also the Warren's Hall part was replaced by this route, the 215, from Dudley to Warren's Hall Circular, making it into a local service. And also replaced part of the 14A through Gateshead. And that's the section we're going to cover just now. We've got is a right straight light door forward DF, and this is one of the batches that used to be regularly on the 226 service from Dudley to Merry Hill. First introduced in 2019 as part of the new Euro 6 emissions, but now on the 226 you get a variety of vehicles on the service. Onto Tividale. This is the bit where the old 14A used to come along, and this also replaced part of the old 74A service that ran from Dudley to West Bromwich via Tividale, and then operated by Diamond Bus, and it was also run by Central Buses. Central Buses was another independent to operate in Dudley, so you have loads of different independent operators in and around Dudley. So you had Midland, you had Central Buses, IGO, Pete's Travel, you also had Hanson's, Tandy, which was Tandy Executive, because obviously there was two Tandy companies. There was Tandy Red, also Tandy Blue, which is actually which was properly called Tandy Executive.